What's up, folks in IG land? We are live. This is Big George from North Dallas Sauce Talk, representing George's Hot Sauce and Barbecue Catering. I'm here today to talk to my man Andrew Anderson out of Long Beach, California, owner of Spicy Kitchen. And here we go. All right, we are waiting for him to come in, and here we go.
What's up?
How we doing, Andrew?
I think I had better lighting over here. Let me go back. How you doing, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm stoked. I am so excited about you, about your package that you sent. Ladies and gentlemen, he sent me 10 products of the most glorious looking items I've ever seen, loaded with spicy heat hot sauces, special reserve limited edition hot sauces, a harvest of fall special hot sauce that everybody's going crazy on the internet. Sauce PDX did a review on it and went and gave her, and she's still talking about it right now. It's and like you're like the big craze talk right now in the pod people world for people who love hot sauce. And
I love that.
So they're all like waiting to get on here and just listen to us run our mouths about what we love to do. All right. Most definitely, Spice Kitchen LA, I'm going to step back, give you the spotlight, and tell us the story about Spicy Kitchen in Long Beach, California.
So it all kind of started. I am an avid gardener and love to cook. And I grew up in Wisconsin, so I grew up having a garden. My mom canning 90 quarts of green beans and applesauce and all that kind of stuff. So one of the first things when I had extra, let me try making pickles. Let me try doing this and. Barbecue sauces, I'd have people over on the weekend and, at first I was just kind of doctoring stuff. And then people kept saying, can I buy it? Can I buy it? And I was like, nah, it's just kind of a one-off thing. And finally I realized mason jars are really expensive to keep giving away. So, I sat down and said, let's do this. It was about getting, the thing that always kind of scared me was getting that consistency. To have a product, to make things, you have to have that in food and anything you get for people to want to buy, to know I'm going to get the same thing every time. So it was sitting down, making recipes, taking them back to all the people, getting feedback, adjusting each way, and then once I got started, I kept getting inspired by different things. The jams came from, something I tried at a wine bar, different flavors of barbecue sauces. And then, it's just kind of grown, and I've been, excited to be influenced by different things. I, read all the cooking magazines and watch a lot of the shows. But I have to say this year, I really took time to step back and develop my social media presence. And that's, kind of where I started getting on Instagram and following all you guys and watching some of the reviews. And it really... because sometimes you're in our own little bubbles when we do these things, and it's hard to see ourselves. Can we go outside of that? Can we be bigger than our little town or what we're used to? And how does that compare to the rest of, the hot sauce and barbecue sauce world and that culture? And so it's really been inspirational to me to hear these reviews and get that feedback. And it's challenged me to want to elevate my brand, the ingredients I've been using, what kind of stuff I'm putting forward, what are other people doing? Because I want to empower everybody else, but I want to see who my competition is. We're all in it for it, but there's plenty of love and heat to spread around. So it's cool. I do a little bit more than I think some people do. I'm a little above, go a little crazy with the amount of things I have, but I can't help myself.
You got to get it out, right? You got to get that creative energy to create whatever you got a creative idea for. If you want to load it, whatever you got in your thought process, you got to do it. And then I feel like from there, you taper back. And I think what you said made perfect sense to me is that, once you get out there in the world and showcase your products, most important, you got to know your audience and listen to what they like and what they don't like and stuff like that. And then that way you can dibble and dabble and play and reform, or just keep what you got going. That's the best thing. Everything is all about R&D, right? Research and development. And this is the best. When you're on social media, this is the best form of R&D. When everybody's trying your different sauces and talking about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just because of you guys, when I was getting these reviews and they're reading the ingredients, I realized how, one note my ingredients sounded. And so I actually have gone back and revamped a couple of my recipes using better and quality ingredients, different vinegars, different kind of things. It's the same essence of what the sauce was, just, elevating it, and definitely experimenting. I did the fermented ones too, so I have, a little thing I'm doing with that. And the fall ones this year, I'm super excited about. Those have been really fun to develop those.
How is the fermented process going? I remember reading a post of you going, taking a shot at it.
So I did 5 different batches, and the batch, they weren't huge, like they only made about 20 bottles a thing. And so that's why I did the fermented 5 contest. So there was only 15 sets. So for $50, you get 1 bottle of each. And then I ran a contest. So when you buy a set, you email me with your review of each bottle, 1 through 5, and then what you think the ingredients are in each one. And then whoever gets the closest to getting all those right will get $100 worth of product. And then, depending on the feedback I get from them, if there was 1 or 2 that really stood out, I might, look at kind of taking that one and adding it to the lineup, or just kind of do little seasonal batches here and there. So it's different. I'm not a giant fan myself of the fermented because they can be a little funky. There's one, it is a different process altogether. And so I enjoy the experiment. I think they're beautiful when they're in the jars. So we'll just see. I'm not closing it off completely. I'm waiting to kind of get the feedback from people in the contest and see what's up.
It makes me wonder, could there be a such thing as kombucha hot sauce? Could that be a creative thought, like a kombucha hot sauce?
I mean, I would think so, because usually it's the brine that does it, and so it's the same. Kombucha is just the cabbage and the carrots and the veggies. We're doing that with just peppers and carrots and that kind of thing. Yeah. So I mean, I think you could bring that flavor profile in.
Yeah, just when you brought the cabbage and carrots up, I mean, you have to puree that down pretty good for one. You have to break it down real good, or you can leave it a little consistency with it. But the whole thought of a cabbage fermented spicy, I don't know. I think it's better than our thought process. I think it comes out better as a canned jarred item than an actual sauce. So
something about cabbage and hot sauce just seems a little scary. I don't know. I know there's spicy kombucha and stuff too, but it sounds like a gas attack waiting to happen.
I mean, you can get away with carrots, but I don't know about the cabbage. It might explode in the bottle with all the fermentation going on. So, of the bottles that Andrew sent me, I reached out to the audience and I asked them, hey, check out all these products and just point out which one would you like me to taste and test out while I'm talking to Andrew. And you know what won? Take a wild guess.
So 1 second, I got a plane over the top. I couldn't.
Okay.
There we go. It's funny, the place I'm at, I'm setting up one of my vendors, my holiday displays, but I've done workshops here. And so whenever we're doing the workshops and the plane flies, we always have to take a drink because nobody can hear anything. We're right over the flight path in Long Beach Airport, so.
Well, the barbecue sauces you sent me were beautiful. And out of your barbecue sauces, which my second one was actually the apricot. I wanted to go with the apricot, but I knew with the apricot, I really want to take it to the next level by playing with more lean and white meats with the apricot. I thought it would be a brighter pairing.
Right, that's kind of how I like it. Those are my 2 favorites. I like the bourbon definitely on, my ribs, my brisket, my pulled pork sandwich. When it comes to the apricot, that's what I want on my chicken, my shrimp, pork tenderloin, some of those leaner things, or, where a nice citrus element does. It's not apricot heavy, I would say. It's not, a lot of times those can be sweeter. So, but, the bourbon's great. It's got a nice, well, you know what? I'll let you try it and tell them what you think.
Well, I mean, me and my wife, we're like connoisseurs of good Kentucky bourbon. So we play around with the ingredients and try to make our own sauces, and we make a nice green bourbon pecan pie also. So when I saw this, I was like, yeah, this is going down, and it's hot too. So what we got here is the Spicy Kitchen Bourbon Barbecue Sauce, handmade in Long Beach, California, and it's beautiful. I call these the lab bottles, straight out the lab. Nice solid bottles, nice and big. I mean, when you set this on the counter next to another item, it like knocks it right to the side. Buy me, So take a look at that. That's beautiful. Look at that. And
I just one note before you. The ingredient, I just switched up how I do the barbecue sauces.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer using ketchup, so we're using a locally sourced organic tomato puree.
Okay.
Instead. So it's the same flavor profile, a little richer actually, but it gets rid of the high fructose corn syrup and the ketchup, and it kind of brings all of it to raw ingredients and starting out instead of having something kind of manufactured beforehand. So
yeah, what you did is you actually created this barbecue sauce, as you said, with raw ingredients. And a natural, there's processed sugar and then there's natural based sugar, and actually everybody should know that natural based type sugars like in your fruit and stuff are more easy to process. It's much easier to burn, and it doesn't spike your insulin up all crazy when you're eating barbecue. So, but he still kept the recipe at its base of what barbecue sauce is made out of. And that's what's more important. And plus he has his special spices on here that you probably don't want me to announce it, but it's all for you when you buy that bottle to check it out for yourself. So,
well, we got to put the ingredients on it. It's not that secret, but it's the nuances of how much you use and everything is what changes it. So.
Andrew, I'm trying to get away with it because I ain't got my glasses on and I'm blind as hell without it. I can't
They can go on the website if they need to, right?
I'm trying, man. But I know you put something good in there.
It's a lot to fit on a little label.
I know. Trust me, my bottle's playing. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, I go blind looking at my stuff, brother. Look at the ingredients on that one.
It's real tiny.
All right. So now I got this matchup here. I got some nice smoked ribs I did during the Thursday night game. So let me pull that out and take a look at that. You can see that nice smoke ring on there. I didn't want to layer it out with a lot, but I do have a nice, I naturally make my glaze, or should you say I like to paint my ribs. And I do it Kansas City style. I like mine tangy with a hint of sweetness and spicy. But I'm curious what happens if I take your barbecue sauce and just do a nice little base on it, man. I'll take this barbecue sauce. Perfect. Ooh. I love that. I can smell the molasses. I do so much R&D, I can smell ingredients like crazy, man. I feel like I'm a CSI dude.
I love when people, it's always interesting too, different people pick up on different things. You can tell it's like, what?